Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. I'm here to read on a serial killer named Axel Rudakubana. Although this is taking place in London, it did catch my eye and it is very disturbing as I'm what I'm about to read you guys. I will be able to share my thoughts about this case, and it is very disturbing to read, but judging from his face, it's clear he has no remorse for his actions, and it will definitely leave you heartbroken, and your blood might start to boil. So, for those who might feel sensitive or who don't feel comfortable, you can always feel free to not watch. And this content is not for everyone, so let us proceed.
Axel Rudakubana, the Southport killer, was today back up in court. He was due to appear at Liverpool Crown Court via video link from Belmarsh Prison. Southport
child murderer Axel Rudakubana has refused to leave his prison cell for a court hearing called to resolve a legal issue. Again, I do want to speak out on this. It's obvious he knows he's guilty. He's been caught. He feels like he really has nothing to say. So he doesn't want to incriminate himself even more, but even though he pretty much did. So it feels like he's adding more evidence by having to be at the courtroom, but it won't really help his case regardless, you guys. The 18-year-old who was last month jailed for a minimum 52 years for the knife attack.
Now stand back, I gotta practice my stabbing. No, please, help, stop it, please!
At a Taylor Swift themed dance class on 29 July 2024, had been due to appear via video link at Liverpool Crown Court.
Now this will put to bed the trolls that are saying he's not in Belmarsh. That's exactly where he is. Go and read the Daily Press and it'll tell you today he was due to appear at Liverpool Crown Court from Belmarsh Prison via video link. So when it says he refuses to leave his cell, on the unit that he's on, he has to go to another part of the prison where they've got a specially built room that does video calls. This is where they have the visits and the legal visits. This is where you've got to go and appear before the courts. So that's where he was meant to be, but he refused to go up. And today's hearing was a technical error. It was to recorrect his sentencing because he was under 18 at the time of the killings. He was meant to be sentenced to detention under His Majesty's pleasure rather than a life term, which is reserved for adults.
So my guess is that, again, this was definitely premeditated, and it looks like the guy's a Taylor Swift fan. So although this may be a pretty old case, he was trying to find a place where it's convenient where he could find his victims, but we don't know we honestly have no clue what's going through this guy's mind.
So this hearing was going ahead, or did go ahead, this morning, which is Tuesday the 4th of February, to correct this technical error. And that little rat, or should I say creature, refused to go up and listen to what the judge had to say when they amended this.
What made him follow through with it? Because the reason why I do bring this up, because the fact that you rarely see any black people make any terroristic attacks. Of course, there's those that exist who follow up with it, but when you think of these type of attacks, you think of like other colored people, and no offense to anybody, because I'm not trying to offend anybody. So not only because this caught me by surprise, it's just the fact that it like rarely exists. There are black people who do murder people, no doubt about it, but it's like they don't go on a mass killing spree.
Now it will not make any difference whatsoever to his sentence. It's just technical terms. It'll be detention under His Majesty's pleasure rather than a life sentence. It's still a minimum of 52 years, so it will not change the minimum term whatsoever. It's a technical issue to correct this technical error and put it down as detention instead of life.
The court heard he both refused to participate in the hearing from HMP Belmarsh in southeast London or to speak with his legal team. Because Rudakubana was under 18 when he killed Elsie Stancombe, Alice da Silva, Arguer, and Baby King, the judge amended his sentence to detained at His Majesty's pleasure rather than being kept in custody for life. Honestly, he definitely deserves to be in custody for life.
Now, like I've said, he's still inside of Belmarsh prison, getting assessed to decide where they are going to put him. But wherever he goes, he is the #1 priority on the hit list of the lads inside of prison for prison justice. And I've done rundowns on videos previously as to where I think he will go. But he will be there for a number of months, I believe, segregated by himself in the units, and he will be getting guarded by the screws as a high priority because the inmates are wanting to inflict some serious prison justice on this creature.
I do want to bring an important part. I think the issue, especially nowadays, and whether I said this before, I'm really sick and tired how, again, even if this guy was under the age of 18, these kids feel, especially whether they be teenagers, 14, 15, 16, 17, they always feel like they're going to get licensed because they're a minor. I truly believe if you commit these type of atrocities, if you go out on a mass murder, you definitely need to be held accountable and you need to be charged as an adult.
This creature that took the lives of 3 little angels who will be looking over the shoulder for the rest of his days, because he will be getting prison justice at its finest the moment the lads can get their hands on him.
I won't let you get away with this! I won't let you!
I've recently watched up some other videos where there are kids who believe who were 16, 17, who legit took someone's else's life.
That's as a result of a law change that went into effect in December, which allows teens his age to be charged as an adult in certain crimes. There was a realization that during this proceeding that the gravity was hitting him, a grand jury indictment that could come in the near future, and a moment that hit when a judge told him that he would not be seeing freedom anytime soon.
The court finds sufficient allegations to support the charges. Considering the relevant charges, he is ordered held without bond.
I'm not gonna lie, look, I'm a huge Aliens and Predator fan. He sounds exactly like an alien being freshly born out of someone's rib cage.
Charges, he is ordered held without bond.
It is tough to watch, but it was something that Zaquavius Dawkins' family says they needed to be here for.
Yeah.
Simpson accused of killing Dawkins Sunday night along Chester Street. Simpson also accused with attempted first-degree murder involving another victim. Dawkins' family says he was going to get medical supplies for his mother when he was killed. After Wednesday's court appearance, things were still raw for Dawkins' family.
It's affected everybody, even the neighborhood that he lives in. It affected everybody.
Her grandson overcoming health issues as a baby and eventually playing football at Ashbrook High School. In recent days, and even after court Wednesday, Dawkins' family could not help but tell us how kind he was.
He was sweet. He was kind. He would do anything for anybody.
Which has made this all the more tough. But there's a realization here from Dawkins' family that justice must come, even for a suspect that's so young.
He is really young, and he took an innocent life, which was a part of me. I felt bad, you know, but I mean, you know, you out here doing big boy things, and this is what's going to happen. You got to suffer the consequences.
Simpson's next court date is set for February, though we're told he could be indicted by a grand jury before then, but he will remain in jail given the charges.
Whether it be revenge or they're applying to rob somebody, which they clearly robbed of their life, and they'll be surprised when they get no bond, no bail, and they're going to be getting the full amount. And then they'll be surprised the penalties, not because, let's be clear, it's not because they feel sympathy or they're sorry for what they did. They're just upset the fact they got caught. And a person doesn't have to tell you why they're crying. It's clear from their reactions that they wish they never got caught by the police. And then that's why they always go on the run. But the moment they're caught, they feel like by being nice, and they feel like by cooperating, they feel the law will be a lot more lenient. But personally, if you have malicious intent to go and harm someone, you definitely deserve the fullest. You definitely need to suffer the full extent of the law and be punished severely. So let us get to the next part. Still life sentence. Mr. Justice Goose explained that the purpose of the brief hearing was to correct a technical error. He confirmed this would have no effect on the total sentence imposed on Rudakubana, who had waived his right to attend or to be here. The judge told the court it was a still life sentence for Rudakubana, but a different kind. Rudakubana from the village of Banks in West Lancashire ultimately pleaded guilty to murdering Alice Da Silva Aguirre, 9, Babe King, age 6, and Elsie Stancomb, 7.
I'm gonna try extremely hard to maintain my composure, and I mean extremely hard.
So these girls weren't even anywhere 10 years old or above. So they were below the age that I mentioned. So he was looking to target the most vulnerable that couldn't defend themselves.
Go back on the videos and look at the views. Everyone is interested to know what is happening with him, where he's at, what's going to happen to him, what prison justice he will face, and what prison he is actually in. He is in Belmarsh at the moment, but he will be getting assessed as to whether or not he's going to a hospital or a prison.
Some the people that feel like they wouldn't have a chance and a fight against him. So he went after those that really wouldn't be able to grab him, be able to retaliate and fight back, because they know he knows that they would be scared to approach him. And their only best bet for these young girls was to run or call for help. Him again, proving my point, I said, has no remorse. He also admitted the attempted murder of 10 others, including 8 children, as well as producing rice sign, possessing terrorist material, and possessing a knife. Like I said before, and from the very beginning, it was premeditated. Let us get to the next record. One thing I will be sure, you guys, I'll make sure not to show any of the kids, because I do respect, and I do want to respect the privacy of these children, as well as give my condolences to the family, and their faces should not be leaked, for who knows might want to screenshot or want to have access to these kids. And even again, what I mean by that is their photos. So just to show my respect, and I do give my regards for what I'm about to say, because what I'm about to say even though it might not condemn the guy, but I do condemn his actions. And I'm just saying, for the sake of it, is that I'm just going to be here to share my thoughts, and I feel like how it should be handled and the type of punishment he deserves, because there is no holding back on this guy. A British judge sentenced a teenager who murdered 3 young girls to minimum 52 years in prison on Thursday after the killer was removed from the dock for interrupting his sentence. On Monday, Axel Rudakubana, 18 years old, admitted carrying out the killings of Babe King 6, Elsie Dot, Stamcom 7, and Alice De Silva Aguirre 9 last July in the northern English town of Southport. An atrocity that was followed by days of nationwide rioting. 2 victims suffered horrific injuries which are difficult to explain as any other than sadistic in nature, Prosecutor Deanna here earlier told Liverpool Crown Court. So, like I said, he knew these kids weren't a match, so he knew that they would suffer the most injuries and they won't be able to make a full recovery, because he was trying to make an example by actually unaliving these kids based on his intent, and again showing no regard for humanity. So why should we feel sympathy for this guy? And he literally said it. I'm glad those kids are dead. It makes me happy. Those are Rudakubana's words. That's what he told the police after the attack, here said. Rudakubana also pleaded guilty to 10 charges of attempted murder as well as to producing the deadly, like I said before. Very similar, but I will explain, or I'm not going to talk about the whole Al-Qaeda part. I feel like I reread that part in the last article. But 8 of the 10 victims who suffered non-fatal injuries were also children. So he literally only targeted children. That says a lot about this guy. A complete massive coward and a complete scumbag. I didn't hear once him going after an adult. You know what that says? That says that like he's not a man at all. He'll never be one. He'll never be able to live that life as an adult. On top of that, he can never stand up to one. Why? Because those are the people he knows that can defend themselves. Well, we can't say. I'm not too sure how he'll react towards women. Who knows? If he sees anybody that looks vulnerable, for him it's an easy target. But I noticed that. That's what I said before. None of the victims were like adults. They were all minors. And because, again, he wanted to follow through with it to make an example. Because he, again, and I'm not saying he got away with killing. He's definitely getting punished for this. But he felt by doing this is somehow going to cause a lot of mainstream attention, as well as get the media outlets to actually speak on this. So even his face says it all, you guys. It would definitely terrify people who probably can't who aren't the type that actually stand up for themselves. Those who don't want to initiate combat. But I'd be prepared if he approached me that way, looked at me that way. I'm not gonna back away. Seriously. The prosecutor also said the Al-Qaeda training manual contained advice on killing with a knife, but that Rudakubana, sorry about it, his last name is just, oh my god, complicated to pronounce, because how big and confusing and just odd, just how odd it is. And although that may be his culture name, but in itself, it is one that takes a lot of pronunciation. But that Rudakubana was not inspired by any political or religious ideology. The children were attending a Taylor Swift themed dance party, but there's never been any indication of the attacker knew the specifics of what has taken place at the Heart Space in Southport. Justice Julian Goose said the fact that Rudakubana was 9 days shy away of his 18th birthday at the time limited him under British law from imposing a whole life sentence. But he expressed himself confidence. But he expressed himself with confidence. It was likely he would go free, which is clear. I said, although he may not be in prison forever, he's still gonna get a massive sentence, regardless, you guys. But if anything, he should have got the capital punishment. But if I do say so, for those who might say that I'm really going in on this guy, or if that's a bit too far. But um, if I might speak, is that I feel like that would be the right action, and it would be highly justified. And what can you do to minimize this guy's crimes? There's nothing you can say or try to plead that this guy deserves mercy. So it's best to hand him out the worst type of punishment for what he's done, because what he's done is completely unforgivable, and I honestly can't see how this guy would be able to live his life and sleep at night. The killer's sentence for the various crimes are concurrent. Previous disturbing behavior outlined here said two of the girls suffered at 85. Here said two of the girls suffered at least 85 and 120 sharp force injuries, which Rudakubana inflicted with a 20 centimeter long knife he had bought online from Amazon under an alias. The thing is, though, again, whether he's wearing gloves or not, and I'm not going to try to give this guy advice, but if this guy was carrying a knife with his bare hands, they'll be able to do like a DNA test. They'll be able to examine the knife and figure out and be able to trace who it came from. So unless he wore gloves, then that would most likely work. But with the type of resource the law has, that if he uses bare hands, he's even bigger if he's trying to get away from the situation. Or who knows, maybe he did want to get caught. But they're estimating like how sharp, or how deadly the injuries towards the girls were before they passed away. And I can't say if there are others that made it alive. Hopefully they did. Like, I'm not. What do I mean by that? If there are any other minor girls that were stabbed and they somehow made it alive, God bless you guys. But I can't help but think that he may have got other people or other kids that I'm not fully aware of, who may have been caught with the knife, who may have been cut, slashed, but there are those who most likely have made it if they did get hurt. She described a scene of horror with the court shown video footage of screaming young girls fleeing the building. One bloodied girl was seen collapsing outside, provoking gasps and sobs from the public gallery. Like I mentioned before, so yeah, there were other girls that were injured, but I don't want to reveal too much as to what's being displayed, because it will definitely be very disturbing, and I don't really have the evidence on that, but based on what I read, it sounds very gory, and I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable. But this in itself is very heart-wrenching and very disturbing, as well as it is also very sad what these girls had to go through. And personally, no, I feel like victims should be able to speak out on this, but at the same time, it's like there should be a amount of justice deserved. And I do want to add, you guys, I'm sure during that time period, because when he said he was under the age of 18 when he committed this crime, I truly believe he did it because he thought he would get a lighter sentence. And I can't say he would be scot-free, but he'd probably simply be out in like 4 or 5 years, something like that, and give another chance. The thing is, though, the justice system ensured that he wouldn't get that opportunity. Although he's getting 52 years, essentially he won't be able to live his adulthood life, and he's gonna live his adolescence in prison. So again, I too personally don't know what was going through his mind when he decided to commit this heinous act. But again, I do send my condolences, and if I may, this guy deserves the harshest punishment in this world, because from, again, what you read and what I have to tell you guys, there's no way this guy will be redeemed and is gonna follow him for the rest of his life. And whether he decides to think about it and basically reevaluate himself. Anybody with common sense would not forgive this guy, and really that would be the right decision, and it's 100% justifiable. Whatever action that whatever action that this guy may take, and how he will be pursued, I'm not going to feel any sympathy, and he should literally get everything that's coming to him, and I'm not going to be swayed by tears because I have no regrets what I said before that. But all of this could have been avoided. What he was going through, he could have done that on his own time, at his own place, but without getting other people involved. But he decided to take the route where he was gonna ruin the rest of his life and take it on others. But he has no opportunity. This guy truly is a waste of life, and that look that he has just goes to show that someone who has no remorse and is proud of his actions, as well as the pattern of how a sociopath behaves. And the less sociopaths, the less narcissists, the better the world would be.
Until then, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. No more talk.
Leave it there for now, people, to enjoy the rest of your day and take care.
But overall, I feel like it's enough for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content later in the future. Be sure to check your notifications. Comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.
また夜が明ければお別れ夢は遠き幻にあなたを追いかけていた光の中で流れるたび暖かい風を頼り I know to get only the sunshine夏を目をじ野原から秋の月登ったままるさを描い冬も過ぎまた月に数えまだまだの奥にあるいつから夏と過ぎた青空片手をつなぐあなたの歌ういつや思い出今呼び覚ます記憶の中でいざ歩き出す遥か彼方響く声が揺れるデイ書き綴れば待っていた歴史の果て Finger Brothers 蘇る